Hey lovely people, welcome back to my channel Zika's Hub. In this video today, I'll be showing us how to make a bustier with a yak. If this is what you would love to watch and it might interest you to watch it, just sit back, tighten your seatbelt as I take you on this ride. Okay, as you can see on my table, I've already gone ahead to mark my basic lines. You can see my bust line, my under bust line, the waistline, and then the allowance for the joining. From shoulder to bust is 11 inches, then 14 inches from shoulder to under bust, and then 17 inches from shoulder to waist, and then 1 inch for the joining. So to determine the working piece I had to use my biggest measurement to do that, which is my bust. That's why I was able to determine this working piece that I am using today on this tutorial. So I'll just go ahead and mark my shoulder. My shoulder that I'm using here is 15. 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. I'll just go ahead and mark it, then go down by 1 inch to form my shoulder slope. Then I'll go ahead and mark my neck width, which is 3 inches, and neck depth, which is 3 inches. Then I'll just go ahead and connect. Once I am done connecting that, I will use my ruler and connect my shoulder slope to my neck line. Once I am done doing that, then I will take my armhole measurement. My armhole depth here is 8 inches. So just from the shoulder measurement that I have formed, I'll just mark it and then use my ruler and connect it. Then I'll form a line across it to form the armhole depth. On the bust point, I will take my bust circumference, which is 36. 36 divided by 4 will give me 9 inches. I'll just go ahead and mark 9 inches on that line. Once I mark it on that line, then I will go to my armhole and then mark it as well. But before then, I'll have to identify the midpoint of my armhole, which I have done so, and I'll just go in by 0.5 inch. Then after that, I will use my armhole ruler to connect the dots to form a perfect armhole. And after I'm done with this, I will go ahead and identify my chest line, which I will do by going up from the bust point by 2 inches. Then once I'm done with that, I am going to connect the dots with a line. Then after that, I will take the circumference of my bust, which I've already done, and the circumference of my waist, and then I will connect with a ruler. Like I said, the circumference of my bust is 36 inches divided by 4 will give me 9 inches. I will mark that. Then on the waist is 32 inches. 32 inches divided by 4 is 8 inches. Then I will mark and then use a ruler and connect both of them. Use a ruler to connect from my armhole to the waistline, to the allowance. Then once I'm done with this, I will then mark my bust point. My bust point here is 4 inches. I will mark it on the chest line, on the bust line, on the under bust line, and then on the waistline. The bust point I mean is my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 8 divided by 2 will give me 4. That is what I'll mark. Then once I'm done marking that, I will connect it with my ruler. And after I am done doing that, I will take 1 inch by both sides on my waistline and on the chest line and on the under bust line. You can see from what I already have, it is basically basic bodies. Everything about tailoring, you have to know the basics. the basics, the basic body, the basic skirt, the basic how to measure the basic sleeve. With all those things, you can manipulate any style you want to manipulate. You can see that everything centers on my basic bodies. I just took the measurement of my basic bodies, and then I am manipulating it now. So you can see me taking 1 inch by one side of the root of the line I identified, and then 1 inch by the other side. I will do this on the waistline, do it on the underbust, and then do it on the chest line. Then I will come down from my bust line by 1 inch, then and go up from my bust line at the chest line by 1 inch, because I wouldn't want my markings to get to the bust point. Then I will just connect the 1 inch by the side that I have identified with a ruler, which you have seen me doing now. Once I am done with that, I will now use my curved ruler, French curve, and then connect the lines the way you will see me do right now on this video. Okay, from the chest line, I will still go up a little bit by 1/2 inch, because the client that owns this dress doesn't want her bust to show. So to still make sure that everywhere is covered, I'm going to go up by 1/2 inch from the chest area. And then once I'm done with that, I will connect it with a ruler, and then our yak is formed. Then I'll go ahead and replace the 2 inches we took for our darts by the side of this measurements. Now I'll go ahead and take the 2 inches that we have taken as our dart. I will have to replace it by the sides. Once I am done with that and connecting it, that's basically it. I will now have to go ahead and cut it out. I hope we're enjoying the class, and it's a process that is very easy to understand. Hope you understood all the steps I took. If there's any way you are confused, kindly leave a question or your comment in the comment section, so that whenever I visit, I will give answers to all your questions to the best of my knowledge. So once I'm done connecting this now, the 2 inches I took from the underbust, from the waistline, from the chest line, once I finish replacing it and ruling it with a ruler, then I will cut it out. Just watch me as I do that. You can see the cutout is as easy as that. There's no rocket science on this. So you can see how good it is looking. And I know by this you can be able to get it. So we'll go ahead and draft the basic back, the bodies for the back. And you can see I've already gone ahead to draw my zip allowance to mark my bust line, on the bust, waistline, and then the normal allowance. So the back side is easier than the front. So I will just go ahead on my neckline and take 1 inch depth and then 3 inches width. That's wideness. The depth is going to be 1 inch, and then the wideness is going to be 3 inches. I will connect with my French curve, and then I'll go ahead and take my shoulder measurement, which is 7.5. I will just mark it and then go down from the shoulder by 1 inch to form the slope. Once I am done with that, I will take my basic bodies the way I measure it from the zip allowance, I will take just my basic bodice from the zip allowance. Once I am done with that, I'll go ahead and mark my armhole depth, which is 8 inches. I'll connect the dots. I'll connect the dots and then form my armhole with my French curve. I don't need to go in by any 0.5 inch. No, this is the back block, so it doesn't need that easy. So I'll just go ahead and connect that. Once I'm done with that, okay, I'll go ahead and mark my waist circumference, which is 8 inches. That's 32 divided by 4. Give me 8 inches. Then I'll just connect it with my ruler from the chest line to the under bust to the waistline and then to my armhole depths. Then from the bust line, I'll just go up by 2.5 inch to form my chest line and to form my yak. That's where my yak will start. Then once I am done marking that, I'll connect it with my ruler. Then after that, I'll just go in from the zip allowance area. I'll just go in by 4 inches. 4 inches being my bust to point to point measurement. That's nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. Then I'll just go, I'll mark it on my chest line, bust line, under bust, and waistline. Then I'll connect it with a ruler. And that will be all. Once I'm done doing that, I'll go ahead and cut it out. That will basically it for the back. You can see how simple it is. Then most times that when you sew a cloth or you see somebody wearing a cloth, that particular place joining the waist, as in the waist point to the down part of the dress is always looking bulgy. To avoid that bulginess, I will just come to the zip area, that zip allowance area, and go in by 0.5 inch. Once I go in by 0.5 inch, I'll connect it to my bust area, to my bust point. Once I connect it to my bust line, then I'll cut that out. You will see the way I'm going to cut it out. So to make it to lap, instead of looking bulgy at the back, you will not find that. It will just perfectly sleep on the person's back and there will be nothing like bulginess. Just watch me the way I do it. So you can see it, that's the back block and the front block. You can just see the way they are. So I'm going to just place it. I'm going to first of all take the front block and place it on my material, and then I'll cut out. And just watch me as I do this, because the allowances that I did not give for the stitching allowance, all these places that I cut out, there's going to be a stitching to join them. So I'm going to make provision for that stitches now. I'm going to leave half inch by the side. So you can see the way I'm cutting it and leaving half inch by the side and by the top side. Then at the down end of it, I did not add any inches because that has been taken care of. The 1 inch I added at the down part is half inch to join the shoulder and half inch to join the waist to the down part of the dress. So you can see the way I'm just leaving half inch. So when I come to the side, I left 1 inch because I'll use that to join it by the side. That's just it. Look at it. The pattern has been drafted and it has been transferred to the fabric. And this fabric is in a fold of 2. That is the way it is. I have just cut it. Okay, here you go. Hit the like button if this is of benefit to you, and subscribe if you have not done so. Kindly put on your notification bell to always get notified when I post a new video. See you in my next, where I'll be showing you how to pad this bustier in a perfect way. Invite your friends to join us. See you in my next video. Bye.